Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Shadowgate Classic. When last we left off, we managed to get pretty much all the items from the area with the dragon. You can't open the treasure chest against the wall, so let's move on and head this way, the way we came from. Because while we could go and deal with getting that key from the lake, there's actually one more area we need to go to, and it's not just within this hidden passageway, it's further in. Cold air rushes into this chamber from an opening some 10 feet above the floor. We need to go into the secret passageway, within a hidden passageway. Secrets within secrets, folks. Let's go. You stand at the edge of a deep chasm. From the darkness below arise the screams of the undead. This cave is hewn roughly in the chasm's wall. We don't want to fall down there, but there appear to be two different paths we can take. Judging by the intricate workmanship, this bridge seems to be quite sturdy. That's good. What about this one? This shabby bridge is held together with nothing but frayed ropes and rotten planks. The ropes are indeed in bad condition. There is your hint that something is a little wrong with that bridge. Also, notice the fact that the two poles here that hold this end of the bridge together look a lot like snakes. That's a kind of hint, but I'm sure that this bridge will actually hold us. I mean, it's going to be fine, right? You can't do that. Oh, well, let's move this way then. Here we go. As you reach the middle of the bridge, it collapses under your feet. Can it hold you? No. The bridge won't hold you. You can't cross unless you lose some weight, and it's not referring to dropping inventory items. We actually need to find a way to become a lot lighter. We are dead! Again. It's a sad thing, but your adventures have ended here. They will continue, though, because we are here, and we're going to now move into here, and we're going to go the proper route, which involves not going right now. We will be going right, just not yet. Let's take the much better bridge. What's this? A wraith is standing in your way, barring your path. Well, let's have a look at this wraith, shall we? It's a shadow wraith, a hideous spectre, who eternally walks the line between life and death. Well, maybe we can just ask nicely, eh? It doesn't seem to understand what you say. Well, what else do we have here? We have this. This heavy cloak contains no frivolous adornments, such as pockets or a hood. Alright, can we reach it? You're afraid to get near it. Ah, we need to deal with this wraith. First, we'll take these torches. Because they're here, why not? The solution to actually dealing with this is not using something like, say, the sword. We could try using the sword. Let's see if that works, shall we? Nothing happened. No, we actually need to use an item we picked up quite a bit earlier in the game. Remember that torch that's a little different? We need to use that. What do you want to use this for? Use torch on wraith. You put the torch close to the wraith, but nothing happened. There must be more than one way to do it. Indeed, we could actually use the torch on our lit torch. Not that way, though. I think we need to use this torch on these torches. Or we could just hit the wraith with the torch. That could do it. You're afraid to get near it. Or we could use this torch on this torch. The torch burns with a strange white flame. With a shout, you throw the flaming torch at it. With a blinding flash, the white flame engulfs the undead apparition. When you open your eyes again, the wraith is gone. There is an example of how particular that you need to be in this game sometimes. Because we were pretty much trying to use the torch in various different ways, but we couldn't because the game wanted us to use the lit torch against the, well, basically on the actual torch that we wanted to use, rather than using the torch we wanted to use on the lit torch. That's how particular it is. The cloak is in hand, and you know what? Let's actually use that cloak. What do we want to use this for? On ourself. You try on the cloak and find it quite very unbecoming. It barely fits over your armour. Well, it's certainly going to be useful. Very soon, actually. The door is open. Well, without further ado, let's go. There is another exit, which is that way. Let's look at that exit. Ah, it's too high for you to reach. Maybe we've seen that exit before. Or maybe we've plummeted down that exit before. Let's go this way. This small stone chamber is lined on one side by two barred portals. We've seen this room very briefly before, when we plummeted down from this hole. Let's have a look at these areas here. Sturdy bars seal this cage. Your nose detects the presence of a concealed animal. Well, let's have a look at everything else. Well, let's take the torch first. And let's open the obvious hidden door. This door is very obvious. It's more obvious than it is in the NES version. Damp air is blowing out of the gap in the stone wall. Well, let's open it. You feel the ground shake as the rock moves slowly aside to reveal a passageway. Aha! And now there are a few things that we need to look at here. This small silver vial glows with a lustrous shine. You notice that the bottle is impossibly light. Remember when they said we needed to lose some weight to get into the room with the snake bridge? That's what we need. It's a small silver bottle. What is it? It sure smells terrible. Well, we're going to take both of these. Bottle 2 is in hand, and I do believe this is bottle 1. Also, there is a scroll that we're going to take. Scroll 1 is in hand. Let's open scroll 1, shall we? Scroll 1 is open. Your hands begin to sweat because of your extreme excitement. 5 to find, 3 are won. 1 gives access, the bladed sun. The silver orb to banish below, the staff of ages to vanquish the foe. Joining 2, the golden blade, the last to invoke, the platinum horn. That is actually a hint to what you need to do later in the game. But for now, let's look at this rope. It's a coil of rope. Well, let's take it. You can't, in fact, take it. Probably there's too much. What about this? It's a small hole in the ceiling. But what about this? This sign reads Epor. But there's more to this sign than one observation. Epor, Epor, Epor. You got it! It seems to be some sort of magic word. You've learned 1 magic spell. In fact, we've learned the Epor spell. The Epor spell is going to be useful a little later, as in right now. It's the only use this spell actually has. The spell was chanted. Epor! There are many strange things in this world. When you said the magic spell, the rope moved. Having stretched up to the hole, the rope stops moving. Now we can actually go down and up this small passageway without dying horribly. But that's not all we could do here. Oh no, there's one more thing we could do, and that involves saving. We could try drinking one of those potions that we just got. I mean, one of them is impossibly light and the other one smells horrible. Maybe the other one has some magic properties. Use bottle 1. What do you want to use this for? Let's have a drink, shall we? What's the worst that could happen, eh? As you consume the liquid in the vial, your body convulses and death spasms quickly follow. We're dead! Again. It's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. Indeed, do not drink bottle 1, because bottle 1 will horribly, horribly kill you. Now we just need to very quickly retread our steps here. It's not going to take that long. Let's see. Open this. Take this. You see, if you actually know exactly what you're doing, this game's not actually that long in the sense that you can just take all the items that you need, avoid all the items you don't think you need, which unfortunately is none of them, because there is a puzzle later which could potentially require every single item you have, or rather one of any single item that you have. There we go, we just read this twice, and learn the spell. If only learning spells was that easy in all games. Let's go and speak that Epor spell, shall we? There we go. It's not the only spell we're going to know. We will learn a few more before the game ends. What we don't want to do right now is we don't want to actually drink any of those potions. We could read the scroll. That actually seems like a good idea. You never know if reading the scroll is an actual trigger for a certain event later in the game, but let's just give it a read again. There we go. We have read the scroll. Now we shall move this way. Into here. The cold water from the limestone drips on your neck, sending shivers down your spine. There doesn't appear to be very much in here. It's a stone wall. This is a concave polygon. It seems to have been carefully carved into the stone. We could use one of our gems here, though. We just need to figure out which one we need to use. I think it's the blue gem at this point? Let's find out. As soon as you place the blue gem in the hole, you hear the sound of grinding stone. The wall slowly rises to reveal a magical image of an old wizard. Listen, warrior! The warlock lord can only be defeated by thy courage and the staff of ages. I didn't multi-class as druid, therefore I'm much more powerful and can be far more helpful to you. Remember, 5 to find, 3 for the staff, 1 to be the key, and 1 to be thy pathway. Have thy wits about thee, warrior, fare thee well. I may have not multi-classed into druid, but I'm still not going to directly help you. Okay, maybe I'll help you a little. The wall slides back into place, hiding the image from your sight. A scroll appears. Well, let's take it. Let's take it. Scroll 2 is in hand. This scroll is actually very important. Scroll 2 is open. You read the scroll. The scroll reads, "As the shadow of the wind thou shalt be. Humana." You've learned one magic spell. As the spell was chanted, scroll 2 quickly vanished. Indeed, we need that spell. That spell is actually very important, and there's a reason why it's here as opposed to later in the game when you actually need it. We could move up here now. Which brings us back to this room here, which is actually a shortcut. Let's head back through here, and then here. We're gonna go over to that lake. Hello, shark! How are you today? We're going to make this a little bit less livable for you, I'm afraid. Because we're going to be using that orb that we got. And I'm sure it'll work perfectly. Right. That orb was extremely cold. So what if we were to use that sphere on the water? You drop the sphere into the lake and notice the ripples disappear as the water turns to ice. There we go! Now we can take that key. Key 3 is in hand. And we need to actually get this. We need to get this orb back. Unfortunately, it's trapped. What if we were to use our torch, for instance, to go and melt the ice to get the orb back? That's a brilliant idea. Let's do it. The sphere has put out the flames. Your torch goes out with a fizzle. With outstretched arms, you move slowly, looking for a light. Suddenly, you trip over something. Smash! You fall face first to the floor. We are dead! Again. It's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. you probably shouldn't put your torch right against that orb. What we are going to do, however, is we're going to move into here, and we're basically then going to, we're going to actually do what we did again, but a little differently. Let's first use the, sphere, there we go, on the water. There we go. And then we're going to use, let's see, this on a torch, because we want to make sure that we actually don't run out of torchlight. There we go. We have plenty of torchlight now, and now we're going to take this key. What we actually want to do, I think, is use this torch, which is a spare torch, on the ice. You put the burning torch close to it. The torch melts away the ice over the sphere, allowing it to float to the surface. Not surprisingly, the lake quickly refreezes. That is what you don't want to do, though, where the previous way we died. You don't put your torch to the orb. Let's take that orb, because we're going to need that orb again. Very soon, actually. But we don't have anything else we need to do here. Let's go! What we should actually do is we should now head up here again, and we should also then head back to here. Also, an interesting point, if you've gone to the room with Epor first, you could actually get the rope there and then open the slime sarcophagus, and you could still get access to this room, because you'd be able to use the rope. It will be a little bit of a longer journey, but you'd certainly be able to actually make progress. What we need to do right now is we actually need to open up these various mirrors. We have only one thing that we can use to open mirrors, and that is a hammer. And we have 3 mirrors to choose. Do you think the choice is important? The choice is exceptionally important. What if we would hit the left one? As soon as you break the mirror, shards of glass fly through the air and slice into your body. Blood pours from your wounds and your body slumps to the floor. We are dead! Again. It's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. This is completely luck basically. It is completely luck. In a sense, you don't really have any clue. I don't think there is any clue as to which one of these will actually be the solution. I think the middle one looks a little different, only very slightly. Carved oak frame. Throws back a fine reflection. Yeah, the middle one has a very slightly different description, and I think you're meant to use that as the hint for, hey, you're meant to smash this one. But we should totally smash the right-hand one first, because it'll probably just do the same death, right? Wrong! You have opened a magic portal into deep space. You are immediately sucked through. The lack of air causes you to quickly lose consciousness. The Grim Reaper quickly embraces you. We are dead! Again. It's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. I wonder if the Grim Reaper came to, get us in a spacesuit. Or maybe there aren't, any form of spacesuit there at all. Who knows? But magic portals into space. What we want to do right now is we want to actually, move over here and smash the middle one. The middle one is the only one that will let you progress. It's also the only one that won't kill you. Bellowing like some Norse god, you smash the hammer into the mirror. You shatter the mirror, revealing an iron door. Excellent! Does it open? The answer is no. But will it open with the key that we just got? The answer to that question is yes. And now we're going to save. Because actually we want to do a few things first. Mainly we want to actually take off the cloak, I'm pretty sure. Let's actually remove that cloak. Where is the cloak? Is it actually still in my inventory now that I've took it off? Now there is a question. I don't actually think it is. I think it's actually been removed. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it's actually gone. Either that or I just can't see it. No, pretty sure it's actually gone. The only thing that it actually does, the cloak, is if you move into this room while you're not wearing the cloak, you can't actually stay in there. You will immediately be forced out. This room is incredibly hot. This must be what the lower levels of Gehenna are like. If we didn't have the cloak, the unbearable heat would force us to leave this room. Let's have a look around, shall we? This room's very hot. This tireless fire burns with such heat that this room seems to be in the belly of hell itself. It's a heavy wooden door with iron hinges, but somehow hasn't caught fire. It's a long, thin bridge forged of fine metal. Well, let's do the obvious here, and look for a key in the fire. Bellowing like a fool, you leap off the bridge and into the blaze. You are instantly fried. We are dead. Again. It's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. Oh well, let's continue. It puts us right here, which is pretty useful. And let's move on, back into here. Well, it seems like it's pretty obvious that we just need to open the door and move on. Let's do that, shall we? The door is open. Suddenly, you feel a gust of wind. A searing blast of heat knocks you across the room. Ah, it would seem like there is a guardian to this room. A flaming horror appears at the end of the bridge. Well, we know how to deal with these. We go and get our sword and we go and actually fight. We haven't fought anything all game with the sword. No, not the key. There we go. Let's use the sword, shall we? Surely we'll be able to defeat this creature with the sword. The fire drake screams triumphantly and gives you an eternal sunburn. We are dead. Again. It's a sad thing that your adventures have ended here. You can't fight the fire drake. The only thing that you can do is use an item that we've only recently recovered again, and that would be the sphere. The sphere, after all, is exceptionally cold, and so, hopefully, we'll be able to go and use that sphere. But that'll be for next time, folks. For when we come back, we shall get past this fire drake, and we won't leap into the flames again. It was a very silly thing to do. But hey, there are many more silly things we can do in this game. Many more, trust me. There are absolutely loads. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.